All right, today we're looking at adding and subtracting mixed measures. I bet as you were watching this video, you were hoping I would do a voice, and I thought real hard about doing a voice, but I just couldn't remember how this guy sounded, this turbo guy, so I just went with the pictures instead. Anyway, in general, when we look at the idea of mixed measures, we can see commonalities with this with lots of different things. For example, we can see the new movie was 1 hour and 48 minutes long. How many minutes was the movie? All right, so I need to do some converting to make sure that I know exactly how long it is. Here I have relationships. I know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And then my movie is 1 hour plus another 48 minutes. So in the end, I'm going to take this 60 minutes and add it to my 48 minutes and get an answer of 108 minutes. Now that concept by itself isn't hard, but it's a foundational understanding of what you're going to be doing in this lesson. All right, from here we move on to looking at a problem that has a little bit more to it, right? And it's asking you to take a number like this to add and simplify this kind of problem. It says 1 yard, 2 feet, 3 inches plus 2 yards, 3 feet, 6 inches. Okay, so let's start putting some of this stuff together. We got 1 yard, 2 feet, 3 inches, and we're adding 2 yards, 3 feet, and 6 inches. Right? So as we start combining these things together, we want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do. We're going to always start on the right side so that we correctly make sure we can borrow or anything like that, especially when you get to subtraction. 3 plus 6, of course, is 9 inches, right? 2 feet plus 3 feet gives us 5 feet. And 1 yard plus 2 yards gives us 3 yards. Now, we could end right there and just say, perfect, good, except 5 feet. 5 feet, we know there's a relationship between 5 feet and yards, right? We know that 3 feet equals 1 yard. And so if I take 3 feet out of here, I'm left with 2 feet. And then I'm going to take this 3 feet and convert it into a yard. And so in the end, I have an answer of 4 yards, 2 feet, 9 inches. And so in the end, what I came away with, and what you need to come away with, is simplified, right? It's not just add it, but it's also simplified. Make sure that we don't have these big complex numbers, which 5 is not a complex number, but in measurement, when we're using 3 different variables, we want to make sure we have complete ideas of each symbol in simplest form. What does that mean? I have all the yards added up, I have all the feet added up, I have all the inches added up, right? And so we have that concept. All right, let me throw a sample problem on here for you, and you can go ahead and let's make sure you can see it and work with that. So it says add and simplify 3 yards, 4 feet, 4 inches plus 2 yards, 1 foot, 9 inches. All right, go ahead and work through that problem. You're probably feeling just as fast as that snail right now doing math. Just amazingly awesome. So let's work with subtraction. Subtraction, of course, is going to follow the same idea. We're going to subtract, and we want to make sure that we're in simplest terms simplified. Now, hopefully, through the subtraction, we aren't going to have to worry about too much. However, look at what we're working with. 3 days, 6 hours, 40 minutes. Suddenly, because we're working with a different kind of units, we need to understand what is the relationship between them, right? Suddenly we got to know that 3 days, or 1 day equals 24 hours, and that 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Those concepts are going to help us and are going to be important, especially if we have to borrow something because we have a smaller number being subtracted by a bigger number. But let's work it like this. I'm going to go 3D for days, 6 HRS for hours, and 40 minutes. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. And now I go here, I got 1 day, right? 3 hours, it's all cut off all over the screen, and then a simple 2 minutes. All right. Now, Once again, we have to start on the right side, right? Just like with normal subtraction, we've got to start on the right side. We're going to start with our minutes, right? We have a larger number minus a smaller number. We don't have to borrow from our hours, so we can go ahead and subtract and get 38 minutes, right? From here, we can look over and see, okay, I now have 6 hours, 3 hours. Okay, this is definitely the larger idea, so I can just go ahead and subtract. That's going to give me 3 hours. And then, once again, everything's working out. Oh, this one was way too easy. 2 days, 3 hours, 38 minutes, right? This guy is scowling at me. Look at his eyes. He's like, come on, why'd you give him such an easy problem? All right, I'll give him something harder, right? You wanna learn, okay? So here we go. Here's your sample problem then. Subtract 3 days, 2 hours, 25 minutes from 1 day, 4 hours, and 40 minutes. So as you line things up, remember to borrow correctly from the correct units. Boom. That's it. That's the lesson. That's what it's all about. Let me go back to our turbotastic friend. Wait, that's a different movie. And go ahead and solve your second sample problem as you work with mixed measures.